Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first video of the Gentry build. So the Gentry has landed. So I suppose you could say that I'm now officially part of the landed Gentry. Can I say that? Well, I just have. So let's crack on, and I'll show you around what's arrived. I'll show you the kit I've got over there, tools, etc. And we take it from there. Okay, so I'll take the camera off the tripod and we'll make a start. Okay, so bye for now. Hello again. Right, so we're back with the chassis now, which John Burrows has delivered to me, and wow, this is absolutely stunning, this chassis. I am so pleased with it. It's been worth the wait. So what John did was to sandblast the chassis first, then zinc it, and then put a wax treatment over the top here, which hardens. So once it takes about 48 hours to cure, and it's not far off now. In fact, it probably is cured by now. But it's yeah, it's fantastic. And then what I will do, I will inject inside the rails everywhere some protection too, so that it protects the inside of the rails as well as the out, because obviously it rusts on the inside too. Yeah, so that's absolutely fabulous, and it's in superb condition. I think one of those, oh no, I think both actually might have been the rear outriggers have been renewed. The fronts were okay, so they are as they were from the factory, but as you can see, they're spot on. They're not bent, rusted, nothing. Absolutely fabulous. Right, so let's start at the front. So we've got the Triumph 1500 engine, car going past. I've got the Triumph 1500 engine with a set of HS4 carburetors, starter motor, and then over there is the 1500 gearbox. I've got all the front suspension, 4 road wheels, continuation of the front suspension, steering rack, anti-roll bar. I've got some shims there for the suspension to shim out. Again, front suspension, disc brakes, shock absorbers, springs, another wheel. Here I've got a diff there, and carry on to the back, got the rear suspension and the axles for it. Got 2 leaf springs. I've got to modify these leaf springs because I need to make them softer by taking 1 or 2 leaves out, because obviously the back end of the Gentry is much lighter than the original car. So I will do that. I've also got a lowering block, 3/4 inch lowering block to go in there, which will hopefully help have the effect of the camber on the rear, as it's going to be lighter. I've got a complete set of nut and bolts for rear and front suspension coming. Again, the other side of the rear suspension, and the last of the 4 wheels. So all in all, it's virtually all complete there as regards a rolling chassis. The only thing I haven't got at the moment is the prop shaft, but that is because I'm not sure of the length yet. When I get the diff in and the engine and gearbox, then I will know the length, and then I can shop around for a prop shaft. Well, that really is the only thing missing. However, I have now acquired a 2-litre Vitesse engine to replace this. The only thing I haven't got is a 2-litre Vitesse gearbox, so I'm going to have to hunt around for one of those. So with the Vitesse engine, that's going to have to be moved back. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it's preferred to be moved back from the Spitfire engine 4.5 inches. Otherwise it gets very, very tight at the front end, but more importantly, it's to spread the weight distribution back to the rear a bit, because what you don't want is a lot of weight over the front end, because it will create really bad handling as regards understeer. So it's wise to move the engine back 4.5 inches, and while it's in this state, there's actually no problem in doing that. I can do that with ease. Well, I obviously have to relocate the gearbox mount, but again, that's not an issue. So the Vitesse engine is coming next Friday, so I'm looking forward to that. I just hope that I can get a decent gearbox for it. It'd be nice if I can get one with overdrive, but they really are like hen's teeth at the moment, and the ones I have seen weren't particularly good. So right, what next? Okay, so the tools, this is a new selection of racking I bought specifically for this, because I want it so that it's to hand near the chassis. At the moment, what I can do, because I've created these stands on casters, I can move this backwards and forwards and roll it around the garage, so I can push the actual chassis over to that side, and I can still get a car very comfortably in here. And normally it's my wife's Mini, which you can see there, which will come and live here, and the Audi will stay outside for a little while. But that is until I clear that lot, because then once that is clear, which is primarily all old stuff and boxes etc., most of this can be thrown or sold. Then I'll be able to then have the chassis located over there, and then that will enable me then to have both cars sitting in the garage. I would like to do that before the winter really sets in. If at the time it's on its wheels, then I will get some dollies which I will place under the wheel of each wheel, so then I can then, it'll be off these wooden structures, and be resting on its wheels on dollies, so I can still roll it about the garage with ease from there to here, which means taking the car out of course, but that's no issue. So we carry on back over here. So I've got a to-do list on the board. At the moment I've got to do everything, because I've got everything to do at the moment. So if we go down, there's just a general toolbox with files and hammers and etc. in it, and then I've got my posh piece of kit which has got all my tools in, which are vernier gauges, all the intricate stuff really. I've got inside this, and then all the racking has got all the other tools, so you know you've got power cables and drills and wrenches, spanners should I say, excuse me, just burped, spring compressors, pullers of all sorts. I've also got this, which is a handy tool, it's a stud extractor, So you just get it into the light, you just pop it over the stud. I'll show you here. So you pop it over there, you turn it and it grips the stud, and then as you turn it takes out the stud. So if the studs are tight, corroding in something, then this tool will hopefully take it out for me. With WD-40 and etc., then it should come out hopefully without breaking. Down here I've got various other tools, power saws, extension cable, trolley jack, another power saw, several different hammers, soft hammers, hard hammers, another trolley jack, various again pullers and extractors in these boxes, impact driver and sockets for the impact driver, AF and metric, and up here just general cans of stuff. This is the stuff which is on top of the chassis. It's called War, and yeah, it's really good stuff. So that will give it a good protection. And then just up here is my detailing, car detailing equipment. So I've got a DA inside here. So one of my favourite bits of kit for detailing, plus all the, in the bag behind, the grey bag, that's all my chemicals I use for detailing. And up there, more detailing stuff in there, and cloths, wipes, gloves, paper toweling. So that really is now the complete tooling I think I will need. There may be one or two things I will need as I go along, but as far as I can tell, that I've got the vast majority of it. I have got some other tools as well which are not over here, they're stored in another cupboard in the garage, but I think what I've got out is enough to get me started on the chassis. And more importantly, on the top of the chassis is the logbook. So I won't have any problems with that. It's already registered with the DVLA as GUI 7504 as the registration number, so it's non-prefix, which is nice. I don't mind giving that number out because it's sawn anyway, so it's not on the road, obviously. So that's great. I'm really pleased I've got that. It's not just getting the chassis, it's the whole kit and caboodle. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So the next stage really for me is, I'm not going to bother cleaning up too much of this. I will give it a quick whiz over, but I'm not going to bother too much. I'm just going to assemble it all on the chassis as a dry run. That way I can then make a list of all the bits I need, bolts, washers, nuts, seals, everything, as I go along, because when you assemble it you then notice more things that if you're just looking, so that's the stage of play. So it will be assembled first, and then taken apart again once I get the new parts. Oh, one more thing, engine hoist in the corner there, which folds flat against the wall and out of the way. I've used that today to lift the engine, that handled it absolutely no problem, and I should probably use that again when I get the Vitesse next Friday. Well, the Vitesse engine, should I say, not the Vitesse. So 2 litre Vitesse and gearbox to go in. Nice. So hopefully that's given you a quick overview of what I've got so far, my plans for the future, immediate future anyway. I'm just going around looking at this chassis. I can't believe how good this chassis is. Unbelievable. It's like new. Yeah, so give me about 2 or 3 weeks and I'll probably pop another video up with the suspension on, and maybe resting on the ground by that time, but I may put it back up on these casters anyway, but I will probably have to put it down on the ground so I can install the diff, because that is bloody heavy. It's probably best to install it when it's sitting on the ground. Then I should take it off and put the chassis back up on these stands. Okay, I think that's about it, people. Thank you for subscribing. Couldn't believe the number of subscribers I have. I think it was 2 weeks or a week ago I had 17 and it's now approaching 900. There's nothing up there yet on the channel. It's purely an introduction teaser. So hopefully you'll continue watching this build, and I should be learning as I go along, and maybe you will as well. If you haven't subscribed, then subscribe if you don't want to miss any further videos. I'm not asking you to subscribe. If you want to, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. It's not a problem. So there we go. Alright, so I will see you hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll see how far I've got. Okay, so bye for now, and I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. Okay, so bye.